In this session, I'm going to explain you how to maintain petty cash book. I mean how to enter the petty expenses using Tally Prime. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So for that, first of all, I'm going to create one company by selecting create company option. Here I'm giving the company name as new company, address Hyderabad, and state I am selecting Telangana, info, contact details, okay, like email address, website, okay, also you can enter. So after giving the details, how to save the company and it? What is the shortcut key we use?
Control is?
Control A. Control A.
Sorry, Control A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have selected Control A. So in Tally Prime,
Yes.
immediately after saving the company, we'll enter into Tally feature screen. Okay. If any features, if you want to enable, disable as per your requirement, you can do it. But as of now, I'm accepting these features as it is. For petty cash book maintenance, here you don't need to enable any separate feature. Just accept as it is. So after creating the company, so we'll enter into gateway of Tally screen. So from this screen, okay, so we can enter the petty expenditure. So to enter the petty expenditure, first of all, we need to create one voucher and it. So how to create the voucher, I will show now. So after creating the company, gateway of Tally screen, so go to this create option. Select create option under masters. So I am selecting create option, press enter button and go to this voucher type and select voucher type, press enter button. So in voucher type, so type the voucher name
Petty cash.
as petty cash.
Yes.
So by default in Tally Prime, some vouchers are available, but for petty cash, I am creating a separate voucher to maintain petty expenses in separate voucher. And the name also I am giving as petty cash. And this petty cash comes under payment voucher and this is important. By default payment voucher we are having, but in payment voucher like petty cash I am creating like sub voucher. So you should select payment voucher here against to type of voucher. So I am selecting payment voucher and press enter button, and these features you no need to change and accept as it is by pressing enter button and save this voucher. Now accept this option to save this voucher. Now petty cash book voucher is created. After creating petty cash book voucher, you can go to again create option to create the petty cash book ledger separately. So in voucher screen also we can create directly, but here I am creating ledger, then we'll go to voucher. So select ledger. Just before we have created voucher, now we are creating ledger and okay. So here ledger name also I am taking like petty cash. Voucher name I have selected petty cash book, but the ledger name I am giving petty cash only. And this petty cash ledger comes under cash in hand, because here petty cash or cash both comes under cash in hand only. Okay, petty cash and cash both are same ledgers, but what is the difference? So for petty payments only we are using separate ledger petty cash, and for other expenditure except petty payments, for all the other cash payments we use cash book. which is by default available in the software. So here I am selecting cash in hand, group name for petty cash, and press enter button to save it. And also I will create some petty payments like tea expenses, which comes under indirect expenses, right? So select indirect expenses and save it. Next, suppose stationery expenses, which is a miscellaneous expenditure. So all the miscellaneous expenditure, petty expenditure, so we should create under indirect expenses only. And one more expenditure I am taking, like refreshments. Any refreshment expenditure. So for that also I am selecting indirect expenses group. Save it. So 3 expenses ledgers I have created. Now I am going to give some cash balance by using alter option only. Okay. From main cash book we transfer the amount to petty cash. Then we'll make the payments. So I have selected alter option to enter the cash opening balance. So select ledger and select cash. So this is by default available. Just I am going to enter the opening balance. The bottom you can give the opening balance of cash. For example, opening balance I am giving 50,000 rupees. So like this you can give the opening balance of any ledger using alter option. Now, so before entering the petty payments vouchers, so I am going to transfer the main cash to petty cash using this voucher screen, vouchers option. Select vouchers option. So how to transfer main cash to petty cash book? What voucher we use? Yes, sir. What is the voucher we use?
I didn't remember, sir.
So we use payment voucher only because we are making the payment. It is not contra, because suppose for petty cash if we transfer the amount from bank, we can use contra voucher only. From bank to petty cash, yeah. So direct from cash, main cash we are transferring to petty cash for making the petty payments. Okay. So for that we use payment voucher only. Here the shortcut key is F5. So select payment voucher, and on 1st April I am transferring the amounts. Okay. So from where we are transferring only? From main cash to petty cash. Here main cash nothing but cash ledger. So here what account will be debited? Petty cash account is to be debited because to petty cash we are transferring. You can see here in petty cash there is no balance. Okay, so now we are transferring. Suppose we are transferring 1000 rupees. So enter 1000 rupees, debit column. Next select the credit account. What is the credit account under here? Main cash. Okay, so select the cash account. So just before we have given 50,000 opening balance. From that now we are transferring 1000 rupees. So balance left to 49,000. Automatically we'll get here. So if you want you can type the narration here. Okay, for petty payments, cash is transferred to petty cash. Done. Now in petty cash book how much balance we are having? 1000 rupees, right? So from 1000 rupees we can make the petty payments. So how to make the payments and how to enter the transactions in Tally. Okay, so for that also we use same voucher, that is payment voucher. So now we are in payment voucher only. Yes.
For particular expense will give the debit and petty cash is the credit.
Exactly. So for example, one by one we'll enter these 3 expenditure. Okay. For example, first I am
Yeah.
taking T expenses. Expense account is to be debited now, so I am selecting T expense account debit. Suppose T expenses we made 100 rupees. So enter 100 rupees. Next credit,
Petty cash.
petty cash. So generally we select cash, but we are maintaining petty cash book separately for petty payments. So that's why we'll select petty cash. See, and petty cash book balance also it is showing 900 rupees here.
Yes.
And to enter this save to this voucher, we'll press enter button and okay, done. So like this, you can enter all the petty payments. Suppose one more expenditure, that is suppose a stationery expenditure. So for stationery, we spent 300 rupees. So enter 300
Yes, sir.
and credit petty cash 300 rupees. Next, refreshments. Suppose for refreshment we paid 200 rupees and credit petty
At
cash.
a stretch, if the particular all the expenses made in one day means we can give all three
Yeah,
to
you
debit
can
and
enter in one voucher
cash
also. So that also I will show.
Yes.
So if you want to enter one by one, like this we have to enter only. For example, same day, okay, we made a different type of petty payments. Okay, you can enter in one voucher, which is called compound entry. Okay, so that also I am going to show now. So for example, I am changing the date. How to change the date, Andy? What is the shortcut key?
Alt
Only to change the date.
F2, not
F2.
F2. F2.
Yeah. For changing the period, we use Alt F2. But only to change the date, select F2. Now the date I have selected 2nd April. Suppose on 2nd April, the same expenditure we did. Okay. So I am selecting one by one. First I am selecting refreshments. Select refreshments. Okay. So in petty cash book we are from petty cash book we are making all these payments. So for refreshment, for example, I am taking 100 rupees. Already we made 200. Now more 100 rupees. Okay, we spent on 2nd April. Next, if you want to add next expenditure, so in credit place, what we have to select? Debit. How to select debit only? By default, credit petty cash is selected. I did not select this. Okay, by default this came. If you want to add one more debit account, simply press D button only. From keyboard, select D and
Yes.
press enter.
Yeah.
And select one more expenditure. Suppose I am selecting T expenses. Okay, select T expenses and add the amount 50 rupees suppose. And next expenditure. Okay, like this you can add number of expenses only. Okay, there is no limit. So again I am selecting debit to add stationery expenses. Okay, suppose 100 rupees or 150 will take 150 rupees. So total we spent 300 rupees on same day. Okay, like this you can enter on credit petty cash total 300 rupees. If you want, you can mention the narration. So being the expenses, petty expenses paid. And to save this voucher, press enter button twice. So this is what how to maintain petty cash book using Tally Prime. Any question on it?
No, sir.
Now I will show the closing balance or petty cash book ledger, because we have created petty cash book ledger separately. So how to see the ledger balance? Now from gateway of Tally, select display option, press enter button, then go to account books, press enter button and select this cash or bank books. So directly you can select cash or bank book. Also you can search by selecting this ledger option. So as it is cash
From
book.
gateway of Tally only we have to.
Sorry?
From gateway of Tally only we have to see the
Yes,
this one,
ledger
the
balance.
cash book.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So direct go to option also we can use, or we can follow this procedure. Okay, select display option
Okay.
and select account books, select ledger or cash book. For other ledgers including cash, you can select ledger option, but only to see cash or bank balance, so directly you can select this option, cash or bank books. See, in cash or bank book, it will show the main cash book as well as petty cash book separately, because we are maintaining
Yes, sir.
separately. If you enter all the expenditure in main cash book, so it will all together show in cash book only, which not looks good. Okay, it is better to maintain petty payments separately. So in main cash book, you can see 49,000 we are having. Once I'll show the transactions also. See, opening balance we are having 50,000 and we transfer 1,000 rupees to petty cash. So at the end of the month, we are having 49,000 balance. Now we'll see petty cash book. Actually, we transfer 1,000 rupees, but it is showing 100 rupees. Why? Because we spent 900 rupees. If you want to see all those details, so press enter button one more time and you can see here. So opening we are having
Yes.
1,000 rupees and these are what? Payments. So total 900 rupees we spent. So at the end of the month we are having only 100 rupees closing balance. Is it clear, Andy?
Yes, sir.
Okay.